Hey, it's Nancy Juetten, and today is February 1st, 2021, and it is the beginning of the anniversary week of my business. 20 years in business. I can hardly believe it. And that's why today's Learn More, Earn More is going to be a little bit different, a little bit more personal, a little more authentic, a little bit more Nancy than typical, because what I want to do today is to pour into you the lessons I wish I would have learned sooner so that I could have accelerated my success faster. I know that when you take in these lessons for yourself, your own path to success, credibility, visibility, and connection with more of the right people is going to accelerate dramatically. And if that is my legacy to you today in particular, I think it will be time well spent for you to be joining me live during this call. If you are live with me now, go ahead and post a chat, say something, say hello, let me know you're watching, and I will watch my phone to see what exciting things happen there so I can engage with you. And if you hear something that's really powerful for you, go ahead and hit love, like, post a comment, and let people know that this is absolutely worth time to invest into, to listen to get the value, because anything less than that is simply not good enough. I'll never forget the day. It was February 2nd, 20 years ago. I was working as a publicist for a small agency. And when you know it's just time to go, you can't go back another day and wave that flag and it's time for you to start your new journey. Well, that journey couldn't have started for me any sooner. The fit wasn't right. Every time I went to work, I felt like I was in a straitjacket. And I knew that it was my destiny to run my own show and be the maverick communicator that I have been all these years. Within hours of leaving that agency, I had secured my first retainer client. Her name was Fran Bigelow, and she is the founder and CEO, or was at the time, of Fran's Chocolates. She was known as America's favorite chocolatier. And when President Obama and Michelle Obama were in the White House, they served her gray salt caramels at state dinners. I was so excited to be working with Fran Bigelow, Fran's Chocolates, because up until then, this agency had these high technology companies that had all kinds of jargon and crazy things to talk about that I could hardly understand. And it was just like decoding what was magical about these companies, as opposed to working for a chocolatier where with one taste, I knew what the fuss was about, and there wasn't any stopping me getting her booked on all kinds of shows left and right so that she could advance her star as among the finest chocolatiers in the world today. One right after the other, I started working with Seattle Chocolate Company. I worked with the Firmagee. I worked with Olympic Hot Tub Company. I even worked with Roger Staubach of the Football Great, which was one of those bragging right moments that even my husband was jealous about. But enough about me. What I want to do now is share some of the lessons that I've learned that I wish I had learned sooner, because if you could learn these lessons, I think you're going to be better off. So number one, I wish someone had asked me this question 20 years ago. Do you want to create a boutique business, or do you want to create an empire? Let that sit for a moment. A boutique business is something that you can run yourself, perhaps with the assistance of a virtual assistant and a virtual team of technology wizards. You get to do the work you love to do, but you've probably created a bit of a job for yourself. And if that's okay with you, then a boutique business is just fine. And I will confess that that is the kind of business I want to run. In the beginning, the shiny bright objects and the pictures that were painted around how you could build an empire and make millions of dollars in record time, it was so intoxicating to me. And yet, when I dug in a little deeper and I realized what was required in order to build that empire, I didn't leave that path soon enough to focus on where I could be strongest. Now that I know that the boutique path is my path, I'm all in at hello. And the clients that I'm working with appreciate that and distinguish that from the big, huge behemoths that they've been studying, because they want to be seen, heard, celebrated, helped, and championed in the way that I can. And that never happens in these big empires. If you are just in the early stages of starting your business, what kind of business do you want? A boutique or an empire? And let that inform the kinds of training that you consume and the kinds of actions that you take so that you can build something that not only is lucrative, but is aligned with who you are and how you want to serve. I wish I had learned that lesson a whole lot sooner than 20 years. And I hope that me sharing that with you is insightful to help you come to your own conclusion. None of us succeeds alone. If you are a solopreneur who is chief cook and bottle washer, you're doing the books, you're talking to clients, you're handling all the back-end systems, you're doing everything all yourself, don't do that a moment longer. None of us succeeds alone, even if you are a solopreneur. My advice is to hire a virtual assistant who is world-class, who will have your back and take off your plate the things that you are not brilliant at, so you can spend the majority of your time doing the things that you are brilliant in service to your clients to do. When I was looking for my virtual assistant, I had some revolving door activity. I couldn't quite find the right person. Is there anyone listening who is willing to confess that that is their challenge too? Here was my solution. I wrote up a job description of my ideal virtual assistant, the skills, the personal qualities, and the degree to which she speaks English as her first language. And I wrote up this job description not as this is all the stuff I hate, please do it for me. I wrote it from the standpoint of, my success will be so much greater when there's a world-class assistant supporting me in these specific terrific ways. If you like this job description and you are proud to see the website that showcases what it is that I'm up to, I would so love to talk to you about being on my team. I asked for referrals in Facebook groups and from colleagues, and my virtual assistant emerged at the strong recommendation of someone I truly respected. And what do you know? My virtual assistant's been with me for years and years and years. And the one thing that I was really clear about when I hired her was something that was an agitator for me up until the time we met. Has it ever happened to you that you've talked to a technical person or a computer person and they look at whatever it is your challenge is and they say, oh, there's so much going on in the back end that's not working properly. We need to fix all this code. We need to do all these things. And as soon as they start talking tech with me, my eyes glaze over and I feel very disempowered. When I hired my virtual assistant, I said, I know that there's stuff in the back end that's broken and not working properly. And what I'm dreaming of is a virtual assistant who will say, I know exactly what you want, I know how to fix it, and I'll let you know when it's done. Don't tell me how to build the grandfather clock, just tell me what time it is and let's get on with the show. I said that so clearly, my virtual assistant understood me so well that we have been perfect partners for years. Yes, delegate to your virtual assistant, and also see about delegating other things that you're not brilliant at to people who can make sure your systems are running smoothly. Find a webmaster who can help you manage your website. Find an information technology person you can count on so that your computer works properly every time you sit down. And if it doesn't, he's on the case. If you don't love accounting, find a really good bookkeeper. And if you're really good with words or you're not so good with words, find a copywriter or a copywriting coach who can be your co-pilot in creating all the communications that you need so that your ideal clients read your messages and feel your heart and want to work with you as a result of consuming the content you provide. So number one, get clear on what kind of business you want, empire or boutique. It's an important decision to make. Number two, none of us succeeds alone. Build a team, even if you're a solopreneur. And as you're building that team, make sure that they are excited to work with you and that you pay them quickly and on time, and that you don't put them in panic mode, because nobody wants to live in a panic zone as a steady diet. I've always told my team members, from time to time, I will be in a launch mode where I'll need you to go the extra mile, but I will never apply false urgency to something that doesn't deserve it. And I hope that that makes it for a wonderful relationship that will last for all of us. And what do you know? Setting the tone and setting the stage has allowed me to work with some wonderful people still years and years and years at a time. Number 3, check your energy at the door. Lord knows there's a need to make money, close sales, do business. But if you feel desperate about how quickly that needs to happen and your client can feel that, you know what's going to happen? They're going to run in the opposite direction. So check your energy at the door. Do you have compelling energy, inviting energy, or repelling energy? Tune in and pay attention and be compelling and inviting, because that's how relationships take root to grow. As you're growing your business, there are gurus that are telling you to grow your list, grow your list, grow your list. Is anyone willing to say that they've had it up to here with growing your list? Well, I've heard that all 20 years of my business. Grow your list, grow your list. And if I had a mistake that I want to confess, is that in the early years, I was so concerned about growing my list that I forgot to connect with my list. Recognize that every email address, every Facebook person who's joined your group, everyone who's following you on social media, everyone who's noticing you when we are at live events, they are gathering an impression of who you are, how you show up, what you care about, and whether or not you're someone who can guide them to the next place they want to go. Treat these people like human beings, because that's what they are, human beings. And the more human you can be, the more you can create a connection. Here we are in a virtual world. I'm looking right at the camera as if I'm looking right at you. Because if we can be eye to eye and nose to nose and knee to knee in this way, you can feel my heart and know to what extent I am committed to your success. Don't always be looking at your notes or looking off to the side. Find a way to connect with real people and have them feel your heart. Sometimes we're so concerned about making a sale that we make sales to the wrong people. And this is never a good idea. Find the right fit solution for the client who has a problem that needs a solution and deliver it in a world-class way. If it doesn't feel like a fit, you must not commit on either side. And that's as simple as it gets, because nobody wants to spend time processing refunds and dealing with dissatisfied clients. Sell solutions that meet the need that the client has, stand in and on the value you bring, and create a world-class outcome so that everyone's happy. And if they're not your people, you know they're not your people, so send them on their way. You'll be better off, and they will too. If I had to do it over again, I would look forward to enrollment conversations. I would book 3 or 4 of them every single week. I wouldn't be fussing and finessing and attending to details on a website that nobody's visiting. I would connect with more people and get more people on the telephone or on a Zoom call to talk to them. Because when you can guide a client through an enrollment conversation and leave them better off than when you met them, make a referral if they're not your perfect fit, or perhaps discover that they are your perfect fit, you can create a connection that is so powerful that that person can actually make the decision to enroll in your highest value program simply because you had a beautiful conversation. If you have been dragging your feet about scheduling enrollment conversations, I hope that you will shift your attitude and your perspective, because not only will you learn and become more masterful in having these conversations, but you will find out what people's challenges are, what's stopping them from making progress, and all the learning that you gather from those conversations can inform what you actually say on your sales pages and during your enrolling events to hit on the problems that are giving people the biggest aggravation or inability to sleep at night. So often we're searching for the words that we can use that will resonate and ring true for the people that we want to help. There's no better way to learn that language than to actually listen and not talk quite so much. Another lesson, number 7, is authenticity trumps perfection every day of the week. I will confess that I was an A student in college, an A student in high school. I worked really hard to be as good of a student as possible. And I think that I worked so hard at being a good student that I perhaps forgot to be a wonderful human being. I was so worried about getting it right that I think energetically people were repelled by me. And as I've run my business over 20 years, I've really tried to soften the edges and to show up more as I really am, because I am not perfect and I don't always get it right. And there are things that I don't understand or know how to do. And I have to just come clean and say, I don't know the answer to that, but I know someone who does, and I'll get back to you right away. Authenticity trumps perfection every day of the week. Look at the camera. Be your best self. Own your quirks. I remember a mentor telling me one time, he says, Nancy, you talk like your poetry. It's like I'm listening to iambic pentameter. Can't you just dumb it down and not be so clever with the use of your words? And I took it in and I thought about it. My answer was, but then I'm not being true to myself. And if I dumb that down, what else am I going to dumb down? And when it starts rolling out of me like music because I can't stop it, the client is not going to understand who that person was that sold her into something and the person she became when she got into the bucket with me. So sometimes you'll get advice that doesn't ring true to you, and have the courage to say, thanks for your input. That doesn't work for me. I'm going to show up and be myself, because the best you put forward is going to be the you that people are going to want to do business with. And if you're putting on airs or trying to be something you're not, people will sniff that out and they'll run the other way. And that's not a good outcome. This is a really, really big one for me. I wish I had learned this sooner. I have always had more than one big initiative on my plate. I was afraid that if I only had one stream of revenue, that if something should happen, like the Twin Towers would come down or the Great Recession would happen, that my business would dry up instantaneously. And that actually did happen to me in both of those cases. As a result, I've always tried to rotate between group programs, individual programs, joint venture partnerships, information products, sales, speaking. I've always had so many plates in the air. And while I've gained clients in all these buckets and I've done reasonably well for myself, if I had to do it over again, I would create the most premium, most wonderful way to work with me to bring a brilliant outcome and put my focus there. Because I got news for you. It's really hard to make a great living selling $97 products. I got really good at selling $97 products, but it's really hard to make a great living in a boutique business doing just that. If you take that away from this conversation, you're going to be so much better off, because one of the things I've learned for sure is that it does take a lot of time and effort and resource to sell a high-end product or a low-ticket product. And given the kind of time and effort and resource and heart that you need to put into the effort, go as high as you possibly can sooner versus later. Trust me, you will make more money, more impact, and create champions, advocates, and drum beaters a whole lot faster when you have more fully invested clients that are sitting at the feet of your wisdom. This is another big one, number 9. We hear about joint venture partnerships and affiliate arrangements just about every day. If you go to your inbox, chances are you're going to see a whole bunch of invitations where people say, I'd love to introduce you to my friend Mary, who has this wonderful program that solves this particular problem. And I'd be delighted for you to tune into her training at my invitation so that you can get the answer that you're looking for. A lot of these promotions are joint venture promotions where someone is leveraging your list to sell their product. And in return, you, the person who's making the introduction, stand to gain an affiliate commission when someone makes a purchase. I will confess that early in my journey, I was so intoxicated about being included in these kinds of promotions that I overdid it. And what do you know about that? I confused the heck out of my clients. What is she selling? Who is she selling to? So if I had it to do over again, I would delay advocating and championing other people's products until such time as my own offers were rock solid and selling routinely. I think I use those affiliate offers as an excuse not to put my full boat into the programs that I was bringing to market. I can't tell you what excuse I have around that or what mindset trash was standing in my way, but I'm coming clean and saying to you, if I had it to do over again, I would have put my focus on my own high value offers first. And once they were converting reliably and creating wonderful success stories, only then would I start looking at affiliate relationships or joint venture partnerships. I cannot cry in my beer because I was very effective as a joint venture partner and made a ton of money doing that. But if I had it to do over again, I wouldn't do it that way. And I would encourage you not to do that way either. As I said, don't overstay your welcome in low ticket offers. It's really hard to make a living that way. If you've got head trash standing in the way of big cash, or you haven't yet owned your true value, work on your mindset as soon as possible to be the expert your clients would gladly invest into to get the relief to the problem that's keeping them up at night. When you're talking about your fees, I learned this from Kendall Summerhawk. It should be as simple as asking someone to pass the sugar or the salt at the dinner table. Don't get all trumped up about how much it is or not being confident speaking it. Just say, to invest in me and the Raise Your Voice, Make Your Impact in Inner Circle is X amount for 6 months. How shall we proceed? Don't get all weird about it. Stand in and on your value, and you will be at a higher value with confidence, and people will be confident investing with you. The only thing certain is change. If you are someone who is resisting technology, resisting Zoom technology, resisting doing videos, resisting learning how to do Clubhouse, resisting whatever it is, what you resist will persist. It's not going away. If you are not visible in these ways, it could be costing you. So just have a playful attitude and lean in and learn how to embrace technology, because you know something? The only thing certain is change. Technology is going to change. All the platforms we play on are going to change. So just try to have a light spirit about it and lean into what is working according to the experts that you follow, and lean in. This is a big one too. Wouldn't it be great if life was all wine, roses, kittens, and unicorns, and nothing lousy ever happened to anybody? After 20 years, I can tell you that when the Twin Towers fell, it was a bad day. I can tell you when the Great Recession happened, it was a bad year. We can all attest to the fact that when COVID-19 happened, well, that was a game changer and a disruptor for all of us. If you've been around for any length of time, crazy, random, unimaginable things are going to happen in the world, in the community, in the state where you live, or even in your family, where someone could be sick or be faced with a divorce by surprise, or someone could be diagnosed with some illness that you weren't expecting. These kinds of events can be derailing. I know from my experience, they absolutely were from 2017 to 2019. I had a whole bunch of that stuff happen all at once, and I wasn't feeling particularly resilient given the magnitude of the challenges that I was served up. So it took me out a little bit. What I would say about that is be kind to yourself. Do the best you can. Don't apologize for the decisions you've made to take care of your family, to take care of yourself, to navigate whatever life might have served up. But allow yourself to continue to dream and believe that your finest hour is just ahead, because pretty soon you're going to get a brilliant idea of a way to serve, a way to contribute, a way to make a difference that's going to be the answer to a prayer in perfect timing. And you will find the creativity and that new gear to rise up to do that thing that you're destined to do, because it's your task to take on and your flag to wave. If I've learned anything in the last month or so, which is pace yourself and manage your energy. With the brand new calendar year, it's possible that you have a very big list of things that you want to accomplish and problems that you want to slay, and you may forget to schedule in time off, to exercise, to prepare proper meals, to walk your dog, to enjoy your family. If you find yourself exhausted and sleeping the weekends away, take that as a cue to adjust your schedule, adjust your expectations so that you can enjoy your life and your work, because one without the other, for most of us, is simply not good enough. Learn something new every day, even if it's painful. And remember that if we're growing a successful business, we have to make sales every day. We have to create client wins every day through world-class service. We need to achieve visibility in all the ways that we can in front of the right people to benefit. We need to always be growing our audience, and we need to advance along the path to professional mastery. I promise that if you will embrace these lessons as I've described them to you today and lean into them, your path to success will be far faster and smoother than perhaps mine was over these 20 years. I will not cry in my beer for the mistakes that I made or the missteps that I made, because everything is a lesson if you find the blessing. Over the next several days, I'm going to come on live just about every day to share something that I learned over 20 years. One of our members here in the group said, why don't you share some funny stories of crazy things that happened to you along the way? And tomorrow I'm going to come on live and share 3 of those, because when I tell you them, you're going to think, oh my gosh, this woman's on fire. I can't believe she pulled a rabbit out of the hat given what she was served up. I have a pattern of figuring out how to do that, and I want to inspire you to do the same, because if you want your success hard enough, you will find a way. And I think the stories that I'm going to tell you tomorrow are going to make you wink and grin. So since it's my 20-year business anniversary, I'm feeling rather generous. And I asked folks in the group, what could I do to support you and make this a win for you as well? And you said you'd love to receive the opportunity to save on some of my most popular products and programs. So your wish is my command. The entire month of February 2021, when you use the promo code 20 years, 20 space years, when you purchase anything at my website, you'll save 20%. I encourage you to visit the getknowngetpaid.com website, and I would like you to check out the Let's Work Together tab and see what's in store. And the entire month of February, you'll save 20% on Bye Bye Boring Bio 2020 workbook, Podcast Dream Guest Mastery, the Broadcast Your Brilliance Bootcamp. And because I have gone premium in my offerings, I have the Raise Your Voice, Make Your Impact Inner Circle. And it is my highest value, most wonderful way to work with me in a close community of movers and shakers. And I am going to post the link to the Inner Circle invitation in the chat below. And if it calls to you and you feel that this program is exactly what you need to guide you to raise your voice, make your impact, and make money every step of the way in close community with a beautiful jewel box of amazing entrepreneurs who are already joining me, I would love to get an enrollment conversation on the calendar during the month of February. And when you decide to say yes, I will gladly apply the 20% savings to your tuition. That's a pretty generous offer. I hope that you are excited about it. And I look forward to having the opportunity to chat with you, leave you better off than when you started the call, to explore the fit. And if the fit is right, to invite you to commit. Because I am someone who rises up to meet you and goes above and beyond your expectations to deliver value, impact, resources, introductions, and so much more. And that is really what happens in the Raise Your Voice, Make Your Impact Inner Circle. If you know I'm your teacher, let's get a call on the calendar. My email address is nancy@getknowngetpaid.com. You can also reach out to me by private message, and I'll reply as quickly as I possibly can. And that is what I wanted to share with you for today on our Learn More, Earn More. I hope that some of these lessons resonate for you. And if they do, please go ahead and comment in the chat. I'm going to take a look at my phone right now to see if anybody is chatting, because I see we've got 4 people here. And I want to know who you are. Let's see. I see
Please go ahead and
I
comment
see
in the chat.
Bettina's here. Rita's here. Congratulations on your 20 years on your own business. Thank you so much. So there you go. If you're listening live, go ahead and leave me a warm word. And if you're listening by replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay and share a comment or a takeaway. Of all these 20 lessons that I shared, which is the one that hit you squarely between the eyes? And what are you going to do differently or better because I helped accelerate your path today during this video? So that's all I had for you for today. I look forward to having those chats with you if the inner circle is calling to you. And of course, the 20% off value is applicable to the goodies that are in my shopping cart. And there's so many testimonials for all of my programs. That should tell you something. And someone is asking, can you make this shareable? And here's what's going to happen. Oh, Judy's here. That's so good. I'm going to upload this video to YouTube. And when the YouTube link is available, I will make it available for sharing. Because this is a private group, this video isn't shareable outside of the group, but the YouTube link will be available. And I see Jackie Jacobs is here. She says, your generosity continues. Congratulations. Hi, Nancy. Love the savings. And don't be afraid to make offers. Be so proud of your products, services, and programs that you just ooze love for your clients so that they can benefit from how it is that you help. When they feel that confidence, I believe that they will reward you with their purchases. And I hope that you will reward me with yours. All right. So that's all I have for you for today. Have an awesome day. I will be back tomorrow to share some of those funny stories. And I look forward to seeing if I make you laugh and if I inspire you to keep on moving in the direction of your big dreams, whether it's a boutique business or an empire. Now's the time to commit to that, grow it, and make it happen. All right. If you are not yet a member of the Raise Your Voice, Make Your Impact Facebook group, where do you find it? GetKnownGetPaid.com/group. Can't wait to welcome you. Dip your toes in, jump right in. The water's fine. Looking forward to welcoming amazing speakers, experts, and authors who love what it is that we do here and like to splash with others who are going big as soon as possible. All right, that's it. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.